There comes a time in everyone's life when you start asking yourself, who am I really? Not the version that people expect, not the mask you wear for acceptance, the real you, the one hidden behind fear, behind judgment, behind all the what will people say whispers. That moment, my friend, when freedom truly begins, the freedom to be yourself. You see, we spend so much of our lives trying to fit in. We try to sound right, look right, like we're auditioning for a role that someone else wrote. But the truth is, no script fits you better than the one you write yourself. The world already has a million copies. What it needs is your original version. The quirks, the imperfections, the madness, that's what makes you real. So don't shrink yourself to fit into spaces too small for your dreams. Stand tall, take up space, and say with pride, this is me. Believing in yourself isn't arrogance, it's self-respect. The world will always have opinions. They'll tell you how to walk, how to talk, even how to dream. But you must learn to listen to your own voice in the middle of all that noise, because the loudest applause in life should come from within. When you start believing in your uniqueness, you start living a life that's not borrowed, not filtered, but honest. And trust me, there's nothing more beautiful than honesty in a world that's pretending. Now, freedom isn't just about doing what you want, it's about owning who you are. Completely. That includes your flaws, your failures, your messy past, your unpolished dreams. Because you are not meant to be perfect, you're meant to be real. Every mistake you've made, every time you felt it wasn't wasted. It was a part of the story that shaped you. Don't let your scars embarrass you. They are proof that you are stronger than what tried to break you. And yes, failure, the big scary word everyone runs from. Let me tell you something, failure is the best friend success ever had. Every time you fail, you learn what works, what doesn't, and what truly matters. The ones who succeed are not the ones who never fell, they're the ones who refuse to stay down. So wear your failures like a medal, because they mean you were brave enough to try. There's also something deeply powerful about loving yourself. I don't mean the superficial mirror kind of love. I mean forgiving yourself, talking kindly to yourself, being patient with your growth. You can't love others if you don't even know how to love the person in the mirror. Freedom begins the day you stop asking for permission to love yourself. Don't let anyone make you feel small for being who you are. The world will try to label you. Too emotional, too ambitious, too different, but those twos are exactly what make you extraordinary. And while you're on this journey, don't forget kindness. The freedom to be yourself should never mean stepping on others. Be kind. Even when it's not fashionable. Be gentle. Even when the world is rough. Kindness doesn't make you weak. It makes you powerful in a way that ego never can. People may forget your success, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. Lastly, never stop dreaming. Dreams are the wings that carry you beyond the ordinary. Don't be afraid of how big your dreams are. If they don't scare you a little, they're not big enough. Every great story started with someone daring to believe in the impossible. Your dreams are not random. They're the universe's way of telling you what's possible. So dream loudly, live boldly, and let your journey be your signature. The freedom to be yourself is not given, it's claimed. It's the moment you stop waiting for validation and start writing your own story. It's when you realize that you don't have to fit into the world. You can create a world that fits you. Because the greatest role you will ever play is being you. Unapologetically, fearlessly, beautifully. You. Believing in your individuality is like discovering the most powerful secret hidden within you. Every person is born with something original, something unmatched, a rhythm that only belongs to them. But somewhere along the way, we start to lose that rhythm. We start to copy, to compare, to compete, and in that noise, we forget the melody of who we are. You see, there's a strange beauty in being different, in standing out instead of blending in. Yet most of us are terrified of that difference. We think if we're not like everyone else, we won't be accepted. But here's the truth. The world doesn't celebrate the ones who fit in. It remembers the ones who stand out. There is no greater strength than being comfortable in your own skin. The moment you stop pretending to be someone else, you feel a lightness, a freedom that no applause or approval can match. It's like breathing for the first time after holding your breath for years. Believing in your individuality means trusting that what you have inside you, your ideas, your emotions, your instincts are enough. You don't have to imitate someone else's path to create your own success. You don't have to dim your light because someone else finds it too bright. You don't have to apologize for being who you are. The truth is, individuality is not about rebellion. It's about authenticity. It's not shouting to be different. It's quietly being real. When you embrace who you are, you give permission to others to do the same. You become an example that it's okay not to follow the script. You start to realize that your imperfections are not flaws. their fingerprints. They make you human. They make you relatable. They make you are you. But believing in your individuality requires courage. The courage to stand alone when everyone's walking in the same direction. The courage to say, this is my choice, even when the world disagrees. The courage to fail on your own terms rather than succeed on someone else's. People will always have opinions. They'll tell you how you should live, what you should dream, who you should be. If you listen to all of them, you'll spend your life performing instead of living. But when you start believing in yourself, you take back control. You stop needing validation. You stop seeking applause. You begin to act from a place of conviction, not fear, and something magical happens then. Life starts aligning with your truth. You attract the right people, the right energy, the right opportunities. Because when you're authentic, you don't chase, you attract. The right things come naturally to those who aren't trying to be anyone else. Believing in your individuality isn't arrogance, it's acceptance. Acceptance of your flaws, your fire, your softness, and your strength. It's knowing that no one in the entire world can play your role better than you can. Don't let the world define your worth, because the world has a habit of measuring people with the wrong scale. It tells you that your value depends on how much you earn, how you look, what you wear, or how many people know your name. It teaches you to chase approval like it's oxygen. But real worth, the kind that doesn't fade, has nothing to do with what's outside and everything to do with what's within. The world will always have an opinion about you. And if you keep adjusting yourself to fit those opinions, you'll spend your whole life running in circles, exhausted, pretending to be what you're not. There's a certain power in knowing that your worth isn't up for negotiation. When you stop letting people's opinions shape your confidence, you start to feel free. You start to walk differently, talk differently, think differently. The noise of the world begins to fade, and in that quiet space, you find your voice. The truth is, everyone has an image they want to project, but that image isn't who they really are. You can't let people who don't even know your story decide what you're capable of. You can't let someone's temporary judgment become your permanent limitation. The world has this strange way of making you feel like you're not enough. You'll be told you're too young to lead, too old to dream, too emotional to think clearly, too ambitious to fit in. But remember, the same world that doubts you will later ask how you did it. So instead of proving them wrong, focus on proving yourself right. You don't need everyone's acceptance. You just need your own belief. When you recognize your own worth, you stop begging for scraps of validation. You stop living like a guest in your own life. Sometimes, the people closest to you might underestimate you, not because they want to, but because they can only see you through the lens of their own limitations. That's why it's important to build an identity that doesn't crumble under opinions. Your worth isn't defined by your failures or your success, your mistakes or your moments of glory. It's defined by your heart, by how you rise after you fall, by how you stay kind when life is cruel, by how you keep believing when everything seems lost. When you let the world define you, you start playing roles you were never meant to play. You start wearing masks that feel heavier each day. But when you decide that your worth is not something people can give or take away, you take back your power. You start seeing yourself not as a reflection of others' opinions, but as the masterpiece you were created to be. You start living not to impress, but to express, and that's when life starts to feel real again.